Okay, welcome back to Wild Reverence. Today is going to be different because usually I am yapping about my horses or my animals, like my dogs or my cats or someone else's cats, like Poppy over here. Poppy? Oh, she doesn't like being held. Okay. Poppy. 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 Okay. So usually I'm yapping about that stuff or cooking. But today is going to be stories from the past, before Wild Reverence was founded. When I was in yachting. Fun times. I have about 5 years of experience in yachting. And not all of them were pleasant experiences. Not all of them. Okay, is Poppy talking or me? Okay, so I thought I would share some of the crazy things I've experienced or some random stories that have stuck with me. And here comes Asher, the tiger. Show Asher. Asher! Maybe we should wait for him to get closer. So these are my aunt's cats, not my cats. Oh, he came so quick. Asher was the one who helped with the field transformation. Okay, so I'm going to tell one story from the end of 2024, actually New Year's 2024. It's hilarious now, but at the time I wanted to strap an anchor to my ankle and drown, but I didn't. So it was a strange boat with strange people. Are the who's solved the cats? Come. Okay, we're never gonna get through this video if we continue like this. Asher, come. Okay, so it was a strange boat with a strange captain, psycho captain actually. I will obviously not mention names, but yes, he was psycho. I joined that boat at the end of December 2024, and it was awful, but the location was lovely. The Bahamas. I loved it there. Anyway, so it was a small boat, 28-meter reever, pretty cool, but very small. And it was more for day charters for the same owner. Obviously, super rich, super wealthy, lived in a villa, and then he had his yacht docked outside his villa. So you can imagine the money that took to make that happen in the Bahamas, Nassau. So I was working on this boat as a deck stew. Okay, now the dog's quiet time. Okay. And there was then obviously he had staff in the villa working for him. And they were British mostly, and Bahamians as well. So the British there was a butler and house stewardess, basically. I forgot the term for it.
Housekeeper?
No, she wasn't a housekeeper. She was more fancy than that. I forgot the term. She was something. Anyway, she was like the second hand woman to this butler. Anyway, the butler was old. He was old school, old-ish, but he was a little bit warped. But he was nice. He was nice to some degree. You never knew with him. You know those people you meet along the way in life, and you never know when you step what's gonna happen. He was one of those. Yeah, so I thought if I did one wrong step, it was over for me. Also, he had been working for that same owner for like 5 years or 10 years or something crazy like that. So, yeah. But he was cool. He was cool. And basically, we were working on New Year's Eve. This is the story that I wanted to talk about, to explain, especially to those who want to start yachting or considering that if they want to get in the industry. You never know what you're getting yourself into. So on New Year's, I was so panicked because don't forget I also had a loony captain who was not nice, completely loony. He was from Croatia, and he was loony, but he made me panic and stress and have so much anxiety that when New Year's came, New Year's was like the biggest party for this boat, even though it was 28 meters. It was for like 6 people. It was the biggest event and we must have to be prepared. So I tried my best to be prepared. And we were also taking the boat out at night to watch the fireworks, which makes sense. And I had the butler in my ear. I had the house stewardess in my ear. I had the captain in my ear, and I had the other deckhand in my ear, but he was nice. So everyone was telling me different things. And when you're rushing around, you don't have time to take note of it. And, oh, let me write this down. Let me write that down. You're just running around doing what you're told because you're underneath everybody. And then when you're in that state of mind, sometimes things slip. But the butler told me, whatever you do not forget the ice. Okay, I think now you know where I'm going with this. Do not, under any circumstances, forget to bring the ice. So, it's quiet, you guys. Okay. So, I was like, okay, I won't forget it, I promise. Promise, I'm not going to forget the ice. And then I was running around, not to mention the hot French driver who also distracted me. But anyway, I was still running around trying to prepare everything because, as I said, this was a day charter boat, so you mainly brought things onto the boat and took them off and brought them back, and it was a mission. And also, you'd think for the price you pay for these boats, no matter how big or small, that the things on the boats would work. But no, the ice machine was broken and didn't work. Big surprise. Reva. Check that out, Reva. And then, so the ice machine didn't work. So we had to get ice machine near the villa's little gym section. And so as we left, we departed to the ocean somewhere to watch the fireworks. And I had the butler look at me. Did you bring the ice? Lol. No, I didn't. So I looked at him. My eyes were wide and big. And you know those rabbits that have their hearts pounding so much to the point that they stop? Yeah, that was me. My heart stopped because I forgot the ice. Who forgets the ice, right? For this main event. Like, it's such a simple thing. But because I had so much things to think about and everyone was at me, I totally skipped over the ice, even though that was the most important thing to remember. So not to mention now, I was working on New Year's. I didn't want to be working on New Year's, but that was the job. And I had forgotten the ice. So I thought that he was going to explode. That was the end for me, the end of my yachting career, the end of my life, because I forgot the ice for the rich guests, the rich fancy people. But it wasn't. He took it quite well compared to the way I thought he would, considering the type of person he was. And at first he was mad, obviously, but he calmed down and I kept apologizing and saying I'm sorry and blah blah blah. And yeah, there were a lot of turmoil of emotions going regarding the whole boat, the whole situation. And I was already unhappy with the way I was working and everything. So forgetting the ice made me feel really stupid, really pathetic, and really useless. But as I said, luckily the butler wasn't too nasty about it. He could have been. So I thought he was going to fire me, or he was going to tell the owner to fire me, or get someone new, because that happens. That happens in yachting. Like this, you'll be replaced. And I was told that by the captain every other day of my life, that like this, I could be replaced. So it's not very nice. But anyway, the night went on. So they didn't have ice, but I think the champagne was luckily cold enough. And then towards the end of the evening, when the guests had gotten off the boat and we had docked, and I managed to eat 12 grapes under the table, because apparently that brings you luck with certain things. I think with love, that did not bring me luck. That's fake. It's false. It's a scam. Don't do it. It's a scam of the grape industry to buy a box of grapes just to eat 12 grapes under the table on New Year's Eve. It's a scam. Just want to put that out there. Anyway, so the ice story. So it was fine. The captain was in a good mood, and the other nice deckhand was also, he's always in a good mood. So we had some leftover champagne. Once the guests had left, we decided to have a glass for ourselves. And someone went to look in the freezer of the fridge of the boat, and there was ice. The whole time. There was ice in the ice bucket. In the freezer, of the boat. There was already ice that I had forgotten about. So instead of checking the ice in the freezer, if there was any, I just said I forgot the ice. So by then it was too late. The big event was over. Everyone had their 12 grapes under the table. The fireworks were over. It was 2:00 in the morning. We were exhausted. We just wanted to have a drink and then go to bed. But can you imagine the feeling I felt when I discovered the ice in the freezer? That's what yachting does. Yachting makes you go insane and make you think that you're useless when you're not. So that's one of many millions of stories, and each individual on the boats have stories of their own and reasons for why they're not in yachting, or reasons why they left each boat. I left that boat just over a month after joining it because I couldn't deal with the captain. Also, New Year's, that New Year's was one of the worst New Year's of my life. Forgetting the ice, then finding the ice in the ice freezer. So it's not. So think about it. That's such first world problems, such rich people problems. And yes, everybody has different levels of problems, but to forget the ice and put so much pressure on a single block of ice, so that the champagne on your yacht can be refreshed and sizzle with the ice cube. I guess you pay for that. I guess they do pay, but still, to have that pressure, then we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all forget stuff. And I forgot the ice on New Year's. So that's one of my stories. Follow for more.